What is up, Boom Squad? I've got an interesting video for you today. I started my live the other day, and when I was just chatting with people coming into the stream before I started gaming, I started talking about plastic types. You know, plastic types of water bottles and such, right? And basically, when you look on the bottom of all of your plastics, it's typically on the bottom, like lids and stuff, it's going to be on the top. But anyway, on plastics, you'll see like this recycle sign. It's like a recycle triangle, and there'll be a number in it. Sometimes some numbers, or there'll be a number inside of it, and then like some letters underneath it. Anyway, that is to indicate the type of plastic that is. And there are some plastics that you can reuse over and over that have little to no harmful effects or leaching of chemicals, and some that you should never reuse and be super careful if you're going to use them even once, if you're going to heat them up or anything like that. And that is what this video is all about. Check it out. Let's play some games. Hydrate your booty. Hey, I got liquids. Look at I got water. I got some Vietnamese coffee. Woo-wee. Uh-oh. This song already sounds jacked up. I hate it when it like sounds all jacked up. Yep, that sounds jacked up too. That sounds good. All right. You guys missed it. I was just dancing. You guys missed it. I was feeling it. Does my water contain sucralose? This water right here does not. It contains, for sugar, it contains steviol glycosides. I believe that's like the stevia. I believe that's stevia. But anyway, it's not in here because that was just the container. So I campaign this to people. Listen up. All right, check this out. I can't show. Well, no, here I'll show you. A lot of people buy sodas. They buy water bottles. They buy Gatorade, stuff like that. Okay. And then what they do is they reuse the container, all right? Let me tell you the truth, all right? Straight up. You shouldn't ever be using plastic. Or sorry, reusing plastic. I mean, you're going to use some plastic. I mean, it's not like the chances of it being harmful to your body is extremely, extremely low the first use. Now, when you start reusing plastics, it gets really dicey. You never know, and it can be extremely bad for you. I'll tell you that there are websites, and you can go look this up super fucking easy, okay? I'm going to show you how to look it up really quick. I'm just going to do it like brand new fresh because I don't have it already prepared. But I'm going to show you. But before I show you, I'm going to teach you a little something, all right? On the bottom of your container, a plastic container, there is a recycle icon there. And there's a number. There's a number in the middle of it. I don't know if you can see that number. That number is 5. It's the main reason why I buy these, because these are actually not bad for you anyway. This is like called electrolyte, but this is premium hydration, blah, blah, blah. It's a pretty tasty little thing. It's 21 fluid ounces. 21 fluid ounces, by the way, in a smaller container because it's wider and such, which might not fit in all the cup holders. It does. It's a little awkward because it's like a square shape. But this right here has a twist on top. Fucking dope, okay? Which has a seal in there because it's a pretty interesting plastic the way the seal is. Twist on top so it doesn't leak. And it's a 5, okay? It's a grade 5, which if you go look at any of your water bottles, any of your soda bottles, any of your Gatorade bottles, Powerade bottles, they are not 5. They are actually the cheapest fucking plastic out there, which is a 1. It will say 1, and then right below it, it will say PETE. That is the cheapest fucking kind of plastic that you can get. You should never, and if you go look at anything online, it will tell you never to fucking reuse that plastic. Guess what we do? We fucking reuse it, all right? And we're talking about all your gas station cups too. All of your gas station cups. They're shitty. That's one of the main reasons why I buy this right here, because it's like $2-3 for the beverage itself, and you can fucking reuse this shit. It's microwavable, everything. Now, I wouldn't suggest, by the way, I would never suggest to microwave plastic. It's not good to ever microwave plastic, but it is microwavable in the context that the plastic is high enough grade that even if you do microwave it, it has a very, very minimal chance of ever leaching any of the chemicals into whatever you have. You cannot say the same for the 1-PET, because that has a high chance of leaking any sort of chemicals, leaching any chemicals into your fluids. Not even if you just microwave it, by the way. You could literally just wash it out with cold water, warm water, anything, and you have a good chance of getting chemicals in your water. So, just saying, it's interesting. Now check this shit out. I'm gonna show you guys, all right? I'm gonna do it right here on stream so you can all see how quick and easy this is to check this out, all right? Ignore all my stuff here. Look at me. Meridian post office job. I was thinking about trying to work at the post office. All right, check this out. What do we search here? We could search lots of different things, but plastic container types. That looked like it was already doing something there, but okay, here we go. Super cheap right here. PETE. So we're going to go into this. This is the first one that popped up. It should show you numbers too. Okay, this is not showing you numbers. Oh, well, it says right here you can see number 1 plastic. Another common place you'd find number 1 is in your household cleaner, blah, blah, blah. It will show you numbers. This is not a good site. Let's look at, okay, here's 7 container types. Here you go. There's the symbol right here. This, just read it right here. Used in beverage, food, and other. It can be semi-rigid, very lightweight. It acts as a good barrier to alcohol, blah, blah, blah. It has strong impact, all this, common uses. Okay, this isn't giving you all the details. We'll go to another site so I can show you. But if you keep going, it's like, oh, it's stronger. So they use all these words in here, it looks like. When they're saying strong, it's good barrier. But it's weird because the further you go down, the more it starts talking about how it gets stronger. Like, look at this word, stronger. Anyway, there are some that aren't that good. I believe it's 4. Let's see. Its tensile strength, the density is lower, but it's really higher than high density HDPE. So it's better than this. Maybe it's 3. Okay, yeah, I think 3 is not that great. I'm not 100%, but here's 5. This is what I have. Often used food packaging is not as tough as HDPE, but is less brittle. PP is less flexible than LD, blah, 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 stiffer. Let's see, its melting point. Food containers will not melt in the dishwasher, nor during blah, blah, blah. Look at that. Bottle caps, drinking straws, blah, blah, blah is what it says for common shit here. All right, we're going to go, though. The other is a little bit iffy, though, by the way, if you have 7, because it fills a shitload of categories. This is also not the best because it doesn't tell you about harmful shit like that. Let's find another one. There's a lot like out here, but they're not as like descriptive for some reason. Okay. Let's see. Let's just look at this one. All right, this actually looks like it's extreme. Okay, here you go, right here. This has got a lot of details. All right, so it tells you the ones to avoid. Look at this right at the top when it starts to explain blah, 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 blah. Look at the ones to avoid. 1, 3, 6, and 7. 2, 4, and 5 are okay for limited use. All right. Now look at the number 1. This is, again, used in all those kinds of bottles. Water bottles, weird. Soft drinks, juice, beer, wine, mouthwash, salad dressing. All these, look at this. Microwavable meal trays, by the way. This is another reason why microwavable shit is terrible for you. But, microwaves are not bad for you, by the way, but don't get me on that tangent. People think that microwaves are radioactive, blah, blah. No, they're not. But anyway, look right here. PET may leach. Isn't that crazy? The longer liquid is left in these containers, the greater the potential for release. Strange. The more you reuse it, the worse it is for you. Isn't that something, huh? Isn't that something? It's crazy. It's emerging that blah, blah, endocrine disruptors also leach from an endocrine disruptor for our body found to be leaching from these types of plastics. Very fascinating stuff, isn't it? Go look into how often these bottles are used and reused. Man, I started work at Amazon a while back. I quit. Fuck that place. Nothing against Amazon. It's just... Anyway, not getting into it. Long story short, my feet have high arches, and so standing on fucking concrete for 12-hour days is brutal, and I can make more money doing other things than working there. So, and it's like it could be up to a 12-month process where I'm at my spot where I wouldn't get benefits, so it could take a while for them to like take me full-time sort of thing. Well, they call it full-time. I was working full-time, but they just mean like it's like I had a white badge. That's what they call you, a white badge. The blue badge is the actual like full-on benefit employees. So anyway, I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna do it. But they gave us, the point I'm mentioning is in training, they gave everybody like all this like swag stuff, right? And in the swag bag is a water bottle. And you're like, oh, look at this cool water bottle. Guess what kind of plastic the water bottle was? And this is a reusable water bottle. They want you, while you're working there, to use that water bottle to stay hydrated. And they said it over and over. Put water in your water bottles now. You got to make sure you stay hydrated while you're working here. Guess what kind of plastic that shit was? Fucking one. It was a one. It was this one right here. The fucking worst one for your goddamn body. Horrible. Anyway. Now we'll go look at the one that I have. Here's 5. So right here. So let's just kind of, instead of we going through all this nonsense, let's just go straight to the toxicity. Being relatively stable, it is generally considered a safer plastic for food and drink use. Although it has been shown to leach plastic additives such as blah, 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 when PP labware was used in scientific experiments. And one older study has suggested heated PP may be linked to occupational asthma based on the exposure of a worker in a PP factory. Now, this is key. Okay, so ignore this, please. This occupational asthma. It's a study that's cited around people that are making the plastic in a factory. Okay? Not by just using the product. You're literally around making the plastic, heating it at super high temperatures, doing all sorts of crazy things in the factory. Yeah, I'm sure there's lots of crazy, like, chemical stuff floating in the air. So no, this is not a normal thing that you're gonna be like, oh man, I could get asthma. No, you're not. Anyway, unless if you're like gonna go take your plastic and throw it in the fire and then to heat it up and then take it and drink it, like, yeah, okay, maybe you have a chance of getting some bad shit then. But anyway, has been shown to leach plastic additives right here when PP labware was used in scientific experiments. This is another thing. You have to go look at the studies itself. And if you go look at this study, chances are, well, maybe I shouldn't go through all of it. Disposable plastics such as test tubes are used routinely. I just want to look at the abstract so I don't have to read the whole fucking thing. Manufacturing of plastics requires the inclusion of numerous chemicals, some lubricating agents, also occur in active. Shit that these manufacturers leach from into a plastic aqueous buffer and can have profound effects on proteins, thus on results from bioacid. Okay, so this is far-reaching implications for the use of disposable plasticware. All right. Chances are that this is talking about plastics made at a high or lower grade of that 5. So it's like a lower grade. What is that 5 called? A lower grade polypropylene because it's disposable plastics. I'd have to, unfortunately, I'd have to read the whole fucking study to see for sure. But I can tell you right now, this is not a super low grade. This is probably low to medium grade. Just because, I mean, actually, this could be low grade, but I'm guessing it's about low to medium grade. Unfortunately, there's not like a way to like look to see what kind of grade it was, high quality, blah, 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 blah. But if you have a 5 on your water bottle, like if you bought a water bottle, chances are it's not like super low grade. Water, specifically water bottles. I'm not talking like Aquafina, like in the gas station. You'll never find those at, polypropylene anyway. Ever. They're not going to be. They're going to be the lowest grade because these companies are trying to save their money. What does it say? Does this water contain... Okay, let's see. The coffee will keep you up. You know it, Mazda. What's up, Mazda? BPA, be deadly. Learning a science. Wow, I never knew that. I'm going to start buying those. Thank you. Aluminum can, not safe, I assume. Aluminum is an interesting topic. My mom has used the same plastic microwave food cover for years now. Yeah, I bet you it's... food covers. Microwave food covers are typically, I believe they're actually polypropylene, which should be fine. That is way crazy. My mom be hella gross with her food habits. Girl keeps condiments years after they expire because she thinks they don't expire. Bro, no, imagine the plastic leaked into the sauce. The truth is like you shouldn't be reusing plastic for an extended amount of time anyway. Like, I would say if you're like super... If you're using your water bottle a shitload and not just for water and you're like using a hot and cold substances, I would say maybe 3 to 5 years before you get a new one. You can reuse that shit over and over and over. I mean, it really comes down to... This is going to sound weird, but it's going to come down to the price. If you paid an extremely low amount for that water bottle, chances are it's a lower grade. Chances, by the way, chances. The more you spend, chances are the higher grade it is. And all I'm saying by higher grade is I'm talking about the company and when they actually process the plastic. Like, sure, they do testing that basically gives it this sort of stuff. So polypropylene. So it's foolish to think that like, oh, all polypropylene is the same. Well, that would be the same thing as saying all water is the same. It's not. There's like different kinds of water, different grades, like different quality grades, like where you got it, how it was filtered, like sure. It's just that this is like broke down into very simple shit. And then you have 7 that's other. Right here, which is all other plastics. Like, I think polystyrene's really bad for you, by the way. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, styrene's terrible. Right here, which is a reasonably anticipated to be a human carcinogen. Considered a brain and nervous system toxicant. Yeah, never use 6, but you usually won't see 6 on shit that you should be reusing anyway. Or like for food consumption anyway. But yeah, don't be reusing containers. All I'm saying is don't be reusing containers that have 1. And look at what happened, Hannah. You got me in this tangent all because you asked me to stay hydrated. And I am. This water right here, baby. All I'm saying is I don't want to go out and fucking buy a water bottle to reuse when I can literally just go buy something at the store that's tasty and then reuse the actual fucking container. By the way, if you're really super crafty, then you can use this plastic and cut it up and craft other shit, you know? Just saying. A lot of people don't understand that, is they'll go buy some other plastic product when they could actually use some of their own fucking plastics to craft and use the same exact thing. For example, one key thing about plastics is you can use as like a funnel. People go and buy funnels at stores and shit, and you could literally just cut your shit and make one. Whatever. I do it. I'm just saying, I do it. I go and buy all sorts of shit, but I'm still saying, like, you know, you probably should, like, try to be a little bit more crafty. You know, be a little bit more crafty. If we're all a little bit more craftier. So, anyway, I got way off on a tangent about this shit. Holy... Unfortunately, that's the end of the video, Boom Squad. If you could, give me that thumbs up, comment below, subscribe, follow, share, anything you can do to support me, I appreciate it. Peace out.
He appreciates it, and peace out.